So far, we've written our own program to produce JSON. We've used URL parameters to control our program. The last step of the puzzle is to use somebody else's program that generates JSON that we can then write a program to interpret. So what we're going to use is a third-party provider of a program on the web that provides an API. It provides a mechanism for us to ask questions, and it returns data. It returns data in a JSON format. So what we are going to do is we are going to write a server program that talks to another server to get information and bring it back and display it. The other program server that we're going to use is a dictionary. It's actually a translation service, but that will convert from one language to another. But if you just go from one language to the same language, it acts as a dictionary. So we can use that service to provide a dictionary, but it provides lots of information. So what we're going to do is write a server program that takes a URL parameter from us that specifies the word we want to look up. It'll then go to the third-party provider to get the answer to that information, parse that JSON that it gives to us, and then presents it back to us through the web browser in a simple manner. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is go learn about that third-party API. In fact, if you search the web, you will find there's all kinds of free APIs that do all kinds of things. This one is called Glossby. Glossby.com is a website that provides an online multilingual dictionary, and you can go use this interactively and do all kinds of things. The way they implemented their own site is with their own API, and very nicely they provide that API to others. The way you can find it is if you go to the bottom, there's a link that says API. We can click on it and it describes the API. And what it describes here is, it looks like a big mess, but it's actually stuff we already know. It says, go to their domain, their website, at this URL, GAPI, and then give it a function name with a bunch of URL parameters. Well, the function name is one of these things described here. It can be translate or TM for translation memory, but we're going to use the translate function, and these are the URL parameters: from, destination, and phrase, and format, where the format is described above as JSON. So let's go ahead and try it. We'll go to glossby.com/GAPI and then give it a bunch of URL parameters. From equals the language, which will we'll do English, but again, you can try other languages as well. Destination, ampersand, destination equals English. Phrase equals, what should we look up? I was just thinking for no particular reason of this strange word, lugubrious. If you don't know what that means, you'll find out soon enough, and we'll put this in JSON format. Okay, right. This is a more complex URL request to their service, and it's going to give back, with any luck, the data. Of course, I actually forgot the function name, which was translate. And there we go. Right, my plugin has turned this into a pretty format, and this is a much more complex. Actually, not much more, but this is a more complex particular JSON string, but the basic concept is the same. We can actually interactively collapse these to make it a little bit clearer. And what we can see is, just like before, it is a JSON string with, in this case, 6 keys and values. The result is OK. The destination is English. The phrase is lugubrious. The TUC is a list. Right? And just like in Python, the list is in square brackets. So if we get the value of TUC, we'll have a list of things. We can open that up and see this list of things, starting here and ending here, is this content. So TUC has a list that has only a single value. Maybe in other cases it has multiple values. But right now, I mean, a single element of the list. So we could get the very first item in this list, and its value is another dictionary. Right here is this other dictionary, and it has a value of authors, meaning ID, and meanings. This is what we're getting to. Meanings is another list, It's a list of dictionaries, and each dictionary has a key, which is the text, which is the definitions. So what we're going to do is we're going to write a program that is going to use their API to return this JSON, interpret all of this, get the meanings, and display it on the screen. And along the way, we'll learn a tiny bit of HTML to display it on the screen.